start. I almost forgot how to use my camera. It's been so long. I haven't recorded anything in ages. So, okay, so music. Let's put some nice chilled music on. Going to go onto my friend's flow. Now, I'm going to put this music really, really quiet. So if any of you want to log on to this playlist I'm going to play, and you can whack it up nice and high. It's on Spotify, if you have Spotify. So it's called Vinyasa 2020. Vinyasa. And it's my friend's playlist, but it's super, super chilled, and it's really nice. So if you want to whack that on, it should look a little bit like that. The first song is called Gentle Forest Rain. So if you wanted to whack that on, then do so. And let's get started, because you're not going to be able to hear my music, so I'm going to turn it down nice and low, just so that you know. Okay, so also, you know, don't feel like you have to have your camera on. I don't want you to feel self-conscious at all. If you want to keep it off, there's no pressure here. Obviously, I like to see you and like to see what you're doing, so I can kind of help you and correct you. But you know, I did vinyasa with my boyfriend the other day, and he was like, turn the camera off. He got all self-conscious. So don't worry, okay? No one's judging you. All right, so guys, making a start. Going to take your mat. And like I said, just grabbing your pillows, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into a child's pose. So bringing your feet together, open up the knees really, really wide, and you're basically just going to straddle your pillows. Sit down on your pillows, so when you're obviously sat here, it's there in front of you. And then we're just going to come forward and relax over the pillows. Now, obviously, you're going to need it under your face, so maybe not completely sit on it. Depends on how big your pillows are. But you can, lying forward, and just rest your face on the side of your pillow. Also, if you have a block, then it's sometimes nice to place a block underneath the pillows and just elevate yourself a little bit more. Keeping your toys, everything next to you, your block, your strap, just keep it all handy, just so that it's easy for you to grab onto. But we're going to use these first few minutes of the class just to really focus. So lying forward on your mat. Stretch the fingers out as far away from you as possible. Lift the hips slightly just to come forward on the chest on the pillows. And then gently rock back and rest your face down on the side of your pillow. I'm going to turn my face away just because I have my mic on. I don't want to squash it. So you're really focusing on relaxing your body down into the pillows as heavy as you can. And I'm just going to leave you here for a few minutes just breathing. I'm going to come back to speak to you. So when you're breathing, just really focus on breathing in through the nose. Now, where you're lying on your front, it's going to encourage you to open up through the back. So it really helps to visualize the breath coming in to the body through the nose, breathing into the back of the ribs. Really inflate the ribs as much as you can. And then when you're exhaling, you're going to engage the core and almost push and squeeze all of the air back out of the system. So taking your time, breathing nice and slow, really filling the lungs with every inhale, full lungs, as much air as you can possibly breathe in. And just really relax. Focus on yourself. Bring your mind and your attention to your body. Slowly, slowly, feeling the body melting down into the floor. Now, while we're lying there, I'm just going to tell you about the intention of our class today, and that intention is appreciation. So it's not really sort of like a motive throughout the flow, but it's just more of a feeling that you can focus on while you're flowing today. And I find that it's really nice to bring your awareness to certain things like appreciation, you know, gratitude. And once you really think about it and concentrate on thinking about it, you tend to notice it a lot more throughout the day. So I'm going to read you a little quote, which I thought was really cute, that I found this morning. It says, "I truly appreciate kindness. I appreciate people checking up on me. I appreciate a quick message. I appreciate those who ask me if I'm okay. I appreciate every single person in my life who has tried to brighten my days. It's the little things that matter the most." And that quote really resonated with me because it's something that I saw quite late online last night before I went to bed. It was actually on Barbara's Instagram, and it was a little story that she'd shared. And I think the topic of the story was something about, you know, what you might see as just a passing conversation could actually change someone's life. And I think that we need to be so mindful of how we behave in our day-to-day life, because it's very easy to kind of get locked up in your own feelings and your own emotions. And then you actually forget about how your behavior actually affects those around you. So that's going to be our little theme today, of being mindful of the way that we're acting, being mindful of being more appreciative of those in our lives, those little things that make us happy, because quite often it's the really small things that you have in your life that actually make you really, really happy. So just keep that with you today in your class, that feeling of gratitude, that feeling of appreciation, and take that with you through your day. And just every time you're feeling a little bit down, just remind yourself of those tiny little things that you really love in your life and that you're grateful for and that you appreciate. And just let that lift your mood. Okay, so going back to our breathing. Take a lovely deep inhale, breathing in through the nose, filling the lungs, full lungs. And exhale through the mouth. Now don't be afraid to make noise with the breath. You want to have that really warm, foggy breath, opening up through the back of the throat. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And slowly and gently, we're just going to roll up away from our pillows. I'm going to take the pillows just to one side for a moment. And then relax back down onto the mat, into our child's pose. And we're going to start to stretch out a little bit through the back. So when you're ready, bringing the left hand to center of the mat, you're going to inhale and lift the right arm all the way up as much as you can. Now reach those fingers up to the ceiling, still keeping that weight pushed back into the hips, opening up through the groin. Inhale, stretch up a tiny bit more, lengthen through the arm. Then as you exhale, drop the hand down, slide it underneath the left arm, turning the back of the hand to the floor and push the arm away from you as much as you can. So you're getting that lovely stretch, opening up into the shoulders. And just turn your face to rest the right hand side of your face down onto the floor. And breathe gently here. Inhale, reaching away with the hands, stretching into the shoulders. Exhale, dropping down gently towards the mat. Take your time, breathe. Focusing the air going into the side of the lung, really opening up and inflating into the left-hand side of the body. Take your time. Take one more breath here. Exhaling all negativity out of the system, making room for fresh, positive air coming back in. Back to your child's pose. Relax down, lengthen through the top of the head, going on the other side. Bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, reach up, stretch the left arm all the way up as much as you can, and stretch those fingers up towards the ceiling. This might hurt a little bit in your shoulders. Just be gentle with yourself. Reach up one more time, and then as you exhale, coming underneath the right hand, pushing those arms away from each other. Back of the hand goes down to the floor, turning your face to the side. Rest the left hand side of your face on the ground. Inhaling, breathing into the back of the ribs, open the ribs, full lungs. Exhale, sinking a little further down to the floor. Take your time. Slowly, gently warming up the body. And releasing, coming back to your child's pose. Take another breath here, reaching forward with the fingers, stretching the fingers out onto the mat. Inhaling positivity, exhaling all the negative thoughts. And slowly, slowly start to walk yourself back up to a seated position. Bringing the hands together, interlace the fingers and just start to gently move through the fingers, through the wrists, into the elbows, warming up through the hands, the arms, into the shoulders, changing direction if and when you want to. Keeping those knees nice and wide, good, strong, solid foundation. And bringing the hands to the shoulders now, just start to draw circles with the elbows, moving nice and gently and slowly into the socket joints. Remembering to engage through the core, keeping you nice and strong and upright in your posture. Other side. Move the body as much as you want to here. Really get into the joints. Okay, nice. We're going to go for our first spinal twist. So, right hand reaches up, crosses over onto the outside of the left hand. Then you're turning behind you with the left hand grabbing a hold of your right foot. So now you've got your solid grip. We're going to inhale, lengthen, pump the chest forward, lift through the top of the head. Then as we exhale, we're going to turn and look behind us, twisting into the waist and into the spine. Pull your shoulders back as much as you can. You might feel a little pinch in the shoulder blade, that's fine. And try to focus on twisting from the waist rather than twisting entirely from the shoulders. But use your shoulders, obviously, to pull yourself backwards. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more breath here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Engage the core. Exhale, twist. And gently release, going to the other side. Left hand grips a hold of the outside of the right thigh, turning behind you, using your right hand to grab a hold of your left foot. Now twist, inhale, lift and lengthen. Pump the chest forward, lengthen through the top of the head, engaging that core. Exhale, twist, looking behind you, using your shoulders to pull the shoulders back. Squeeze the belly tight, twisting into the waist. Breathing in your own time here. Good. And slowly release. Taking the hands now behind the back of the head. You can interlace the fingers if you wish to. Just place them onto the back of the head. Now we're going to take a nice deep breath, pump the chest forward as much as you can. And then on the exhale, just gently curve through the spine, drop the head down, and place a little bit of weight onto the back of the head, just a tiny bit, stretching into the back of the neck. Every exhale, dropping a little further down towards the mat, coming forward, leading with the head. Nice and slowly. Slowly and controlled, a little closer, bring the head down a little tiny bit closer to the mat until your head touches the floor. Bringing the elbows into contact with the mat, release down. Nice and curved with that spine. And just open up the hands, placing the hands onto the floor, and just enjoy the stretch in the back of the neck. Good. Slowly rolling up. Coming into our first little yogi squat. So bringing the weight into the toes, reversing back, coming up into your squat position. So if you're tight in your Achilles, like me, you might want to open up your legs a little bit wider, take your feet to the outside of the mat, and that way you can place your heels down onto the floor. Now, it doesn't matter how much you poke your bum back, just as long as you're feeling balanced, then that's fine. Reach your hands forward to kind of counterbalance yourself, and you can help you to get a little bit more of a sturdy position here. And slowly and gently, just rock out from side to side, twisting into the hips. Now, using your arms to help to balance you, and your core is engaged nice and tight, sucking that belly button towards the spine, and slowly twisting and stretching into the hips. Really move slowly here. Obviously, if it's a little bit too much in the shoulders, you can place the hands onto the floor, just doing whatever feels nice. Remembering to take nice deep breaths, filling the lungs, exhaling through an open mouth. Good. Now, bringing the hands to the floor. Going to place a little bit more weight into the hands, slowly and gently stretching out through the back of the legs. Now, bringing the toes and heels in. Still got a little bit of a space between the feet. But you want to just have a nice, heavy forward fold. So bring the hands down to the floor, relax the neck, and bring as much weight forward as you can, okay? So take the strain out of the back of the legs, keep a little bend in the back of the legs. Hands are on the floor, and just slowly and gently rocking out from side to side. Feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstrings, walking out through the hips. Take your time here. Focusing the breath coming into the back of the ribs. Now taking the hands to the side of the ribs and just holding it here on the side. And that way you're going to really bring your attention to how the ribs open up with the breath. You're going to feel a little heavier with the head coming further down to the floor. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And feeling the ribs opening up. Exhale. Take a couple more breaths here. Inhale. Feeling those ribs opening with the breath. Good. And slowly rolling up. Release the hands. Coming all the way up to standing. And just standing tall. Hands either side of you. Legs activated, belly activated, shoulders down, away from the ears. Now, while we're standing here tall and strong, we're going to do a tiny little bit of breath work just to bring your attention to where your body is moving with the breath, okay? So what we're going to do is bring our right hand to our lower belly, and then our left hand is going onto the lower back. Now here, we're just going to use our hands just to focus our attention on how much they move with the breath. So when you take an inhale, I want you to breathe so much that you'll feel like you're pushing into your hands. Your belly's going to inflate. And then as you exhale, activate the core and squeeze the air out. So you can see with the inhale, Exhale.